Hi, good morning, welcome, or good afternoon, or wherever you're on the planet. It's sometime during the day or during the night. Well, you know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm a little bored today. Got some really good sleep last night, and Kano and I were just chilling here. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should stream. She was gonna go live on TikTok, I guess, at some point. Later on today. She got a TikTok following. I'm not even joking. She got thousands of people on TikTok. I had no idea. I don't 2,000 on TikTok, which I mean, it's not like millions, but I mean, it's more than I thought. I mean, I don't follow her on TikTok, believe it or not. But anyways, just FYI, there is loud noises all around me because they are doing construction. And plus, I got the air conditioning on because it's 105 today, I think already. It has been getting up to about 112 here. But anyways, I thought, you know what? Maybe I'll do a quick stream on this because some of the things that have been going on recently in the YouTube blogosphere and things of that nature. I see Misty Mo out there. Welcome. I let her know that I would be streaming. And I told her I honestly I swear, and I feel bad. I didn't even remember Misty being a mod. It's been that long. It's been like I don't know. I think I first started talking to Misty about 2022. I think, give or take, about 2-3 years ago. But I didn't even remember. So cool. Thanks, Mod. Thanks, Misty, for joining us. And it's kind of funny that this is the one that you come by on because, this kind of a little bit had to do with you for some strange, odd reason, which I haven't figured out. Maybe people can help me out with that because I'm trying to put all the pieces together because I have no idea what the hell's going on. I haven't been paying attention that much. And so, as people know, I'm out of the loop, but I'm trying to get at least informed in the loop a little bit. And some people have been very helpful in that process, including a letter that was sent to the court by Katie's attorney that I found to be interesting. Some part of it, especially, that people have been pointing out. I see Shill out there. Hi, Shill. Hope you're doing well. Smiling Wolf says, Misty, get him. He doesn't remember. I know. Look, people. Okay, I have said my memory's crap nowadays on certain things. I have admitted this. I'm getting old. She doesn't understand. She doesn't understand. She's like a kid to me.
A couple of years older than me.
Which is a kid to me. I swear to God, I probably got socks your age back.
I have 4 grandkids. Get over
here. Oh yeah, she got 4 grandkids. Yeah. She's younger than me, and she got 4 grandkids. I have no grandkids, so, and I really am no hurry to get grandkids. I'm really not. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Autistic. She does a lot of moderations. The biggest account I mod for is probably Undoomed. If I'm still even a mod there, it's been a while since I've been over his channel. But Undoomed has what 200, 300,000 subs. But it was 2018. Okay, wow, has it been that long? It might have been. Misty's been around for a long time, since 2018. But that was really kind of interacted on Twitter, right? But I mean, the first really time we kind of really had a lot of DMs on Twitter. I think it was 2022, but it could have been before that. Again, I would have to go look, but it's irrelevant either way. Thank you for coming by. Here's Kano, another mod, and sitting right across from me here. But anyways, let's dive into this. So I'm not going to go through all the details because it's all on Twitter, and I'm not here to rehash many things that have already been put out, including this letter that everybody already knows about. So I assumed you all saw it. But I do want to talk about it because this was submitted, I guess, yesterday on the 17th. And the very last, hey, we got Meg. Hi, Meg. This was submitted by the attorney in the 7M court case. And it says something very interesting. There's one line in there that stood out, and a lot of people have pointed it out. It wasn't just me. I didn't catch it at first, honestly. But after I saw somebody catch it, I'm like, wow, okay, this is interesting. It says, quote, "We do believe that these events are related to the case, but we do not know whether if there is evidence linking defendants to these events." And let me read that again, because this is really, really damning to the defense, if this is true. We do not believe these events are related to, we do believe that these events are related to the case, but we do not know whether there is evidence linking defendants to the events. Now, with that said, there is a possibility they could have meant plaintiffs. I will admit this, right? I mean, obviously, this law firm has made mistakes before in filings, so they might have meant but do not know whether there is evidence linking plaintiffs to the case. But that's a hell of a typo. That's a hell of a typo for a letter to a judge that their own, her own lawyer saying, we don't know if there's evidence linking the defendants, which is in this case, Katie Joy, right? It's not even defendants, it's a defendant. I mean, she's the only one being sued, is she not? Am I mistaken on that? Who's the defendants in this case? You know, who's the defendants? This is one defendant, isn't there? But let's assume that this is what they meant. Let's go on the operating condition principle that they meant the defendant. Now, if there's no evidence linking the defendant to these events, then why even bring it up? Okay, technically it's her on the YouTube channel, LSC. Okay, that's fine. I can get that. Or Smiling Wolf. I can get that. Okay. All right. I can definitely get that. That makes a lot of sense. It could have been that, right? It could have been exactly that thing that instead of just talking about Katie Joy, it's talking about her as a limited liability corporation, correct? So, what is it that the lawyer is actually saying here? If there's no evidence related to the defendant, then why even bring it up is my thing. And if there is evidence, then they would be making a false statement by saying there isn't any evidence, right? And again, maybe it's legalese, right? The word evidence is a very specific word in the legal form. It's not the same thing as in philosophy form, right? Evidence is very different in a court of law that when I would be talking about evidence for the likelihood of a probabilistic event to be occurring, that we have sufficient epistemic reasons to believe something, right? So when I say there's evidence, that just means that in a Bayesian way, is more likely to be the case and less likely, and therefore I'm more justified to believe something because I like philosophy. But in the legal sense, evidence is something that you can bring to the court, right? Something that can be submitted to the court, and if it's not submittable, if they can't take it in, then it's not evidence. Whether it is true or not is irrelevant. It's something that can be submitted to the court, correct? So they're saying, well, we don't know if there's evidence that we could bring to the court to say that our client has some relationship to this. Somehow our client is involved in this. We don't know if there's evidence we could bring to the court yet. However, we're not discounting that possibility either. So isn't that exactly what most people have inferred from this? I mean, what else could it mean? This is what I'm asking. What do you think when the lawyer themselves says to the judge, we don't have any evidence of this, but it might be possible? And yeah, Misty. Yeah, and why is Misty's name coming around? This is another thing I can't understand. And no disrespect to Misty whatsoever. I mean, and I absolutely 100% believe that Misty's not going to take this what I'm about to say pejoratively. But Misty's not like I hate to say this. This sounds bad, but Misty's a nobody when it comes to any of this. She's not involved in anything. She's an observer. She just sits back and observes a bunch of stuff. She has no involvement in any of this. She just can't stand Katie Joy for her own reasons. One of it, and I don't even know the full reasons, to be honest with you. I do talk to Misty, but I haven't really asked her that deeply, and I should. I really do want to know now more than ever, because I want to know why Misty's name is being bantered about with any of this, right? That's the big thing. I mean, it can't be coincidental, right? There has to be more to it than that. So what is this? What is it that has to do with Misty's name? Because again, Misty hasn't been around that much. I just talked to Misty just recently, but that's the first time I've really had a communication with her in quite some time of any long, I think Misty, when's the last time I really kind of talked? February? Misty says, I don't take that wrong at all because I had personal situation with Katie Joy and never have. Oh, I don't have a personal situation. Okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense because I don't know what your personal situation is with Katie. I never asked. You never told me. But since you don't have one, that makes sense to me. But I think the last time I really kind of talked to you was back in February, if I'm not mistaken. Right. So I would like you guys to help me out here. What is it about Misty's name that's being brought up now? I really want to know, because if she has no personal thing with Katie Joy, and whoever's doing this to Katie Joy, they're trying to connect Misty to it. Why? What is the purpose of that? Misty's not a hard target for Katie. Misty's not out there making videos on Katie, right? So what is it about her that is the reason that Katie Joy is trying to throw her under the bus, right? Can anybody help me on this? So let's see here. She says, I got here by being her sub first. I think I remember you saying that you were her first subscriber on YouTube or something like that. She was dragging your name through the mud. Well, still does. I found you on Twitter and did my due diligence and ended up liking you more because she's a liar. That works. Yeah, that I remember. I remember you told me similar, so that I do recall. But I never really asked you, did I, Misty, what you meant? What you meant by you found her to be a liar, or why you had personal dislike for her. I just know that she's a liar, so I was just like, okay, well, you're just like everybody else. You found out she's a liar, and people move on, right? But I still don't know why your name is the one being dragged through the mud here. Of all people, I mean, there's other people she's involved in too. She's mentioned Without a Crystal Ball's account, right? She's mentioned who was it? Renell. So who else is she trying to throw under the bus here? Because I think her lawyer is kind of distancing themselves from her a little bit. I think that her lawyer is saying, hey, look, we don't have evidence right now that our client is involved with this, but just in case, on the off chance that she is, we're letting the court know of this. That's how I'm reading this. And again, I could be way off on this. I'm sandboxing this. This is not like my be all end all philosophy that I'm absolutely sure about, like my paper kind of stuff like that. I have some more certitude for. This is shooting from the hip. This is my opinion. So take it for what it's worth, right? But I really would like to know your guys' feedback, because you guys know more stuff about this than I do right now. I haven't been paying attention. I had my own stuff I'm dealing with. Obviously, I'm just getting through my medical stuff, which I tried to refill my prescription today, and for some reason the pharmacy's closed. I don't even know why. What is it, Tuesday, right? Why is it closed on a Tuesday? There's no holiday today, but they're closed today, so I can't even get a refill on my prescription, which sucks. But maybe combined minds can kind of figure out what is it about Katie that is specifically okay. Let me run this by you guys real quick, okay? We all know that Katie knows that none of these people she's mentioned have anything to do with anything. Katie knows this, right? Katie's delusional, don't get me wrong, but she's self-deluded. She is well aware that myself, Nikki, Without a Crystal Ball's account, Renell, Misty, whoever else, none of us have done anything. None of us. She's well aware of this. So she is trying to take whatever's going on with her, whoever is doing this stuff, and trying to defame her critics. This could mean one of two things to me. That she knows who actually is behind it, and she's somehow got her hands in that, and either, I hate to say it, either she's doing it, her husband's doing it, or somebody's doing it for her, if she knows who it is. If she really does know who it is. Or if she doesn't know who it is, then she knows damn well who it's not, right? She knows damn well that it's not nobody that it has anything to do with any of us. She knows damn well whoever it is. Who knows? Message me one sec. Okay, thank you, Cheryl. I'll check that out tomorrow after the stream. Man, I'm getting blown up with messages today. Right now, this is good stuff. People are telling me a lot of interesting stuff. Did not know this. Did not know that. Interesting. One sec. I'm just reading through something else. Something. Yeah. basically, somebody has actually said the same thing I have, that the answers are out there. The answers are out there. We need to find them. We need to find, the answers. And I'm truly, absolutely 100% hoping that there is a police investigation. 100%. But here's the problem. And Katie Joy knows this. The police only have so much power. And unless there's a major crime, they're not going to spend a lot of time with email type stuff and people calling on Katie. I wish they would. I think it's a crime. I mean, it is a crime. I mean, it should be a prosecutable crime that they should go after. But the problem is they have to be able to get subpoenas from Google. Now, I know this could be done because we've subpoenaed other places before. We subpoenaed Discovery. We subpoenaed Amazon, right? In the Kyle Curtis case for the Non Sequitur Show, we subpoenaed them and we got records proving that Kyle was lying under oath, lying in his depositions, and he was found criminally liable, right? For criminal contempt of court, he was found for. He ended up staying in jail because of that. So why can't they subpoena Google? These are from Gmail accounts that are going out there to Katie, right? Whether this is her account or not, she's getting them and she's putting them out there and saying that they're from Gmail. So why is it that they cannot subpoena Gmail to find out where these accounts are from? That's what I really want to know. One sec. So what do you guys think? Let me know why you think Misty's name is coming around. Misty says Katie Joy is not as dumb as people think. Nah, we can argue on that. She's she's dumb in most things, but she's very brilliant in being calculated and devious. So we'll give. She's I've always said before, I think she has some narcissism. Not even some. I think she is full on narcissistic. But that's narcissism. But that's my opinion. I have watched her in real time abuse TF out of people. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But why? Why is it that these names are coming around like Misty, like Ball's account, and who's the other one she blamed? Oh yeah, like Sassy. No, that was an old one. It wasn't Sassy. Sassy was well, one time she did blame Sassy as well. She tried to put my names with Sassy and who was it? It was one of the commentary accounts saying that I had multiple discords about her. I don't, never have. I have 2 discords. Only have had ever 2 discords. Thank you, Shill. So if you want to support this channel or the Non Sequitur Show, become a member of the channel. Leave a comment with a tip. That's cool too. I appreciate it. I really do. Or PayPal. Appreciate it. But let me ask you guys this. Smiling Wolf says because she's scared and can't figure out who's sending the evidence to the other side. And when her lawyer asks her, they say, what is this? She plays dumb. Seriously, my best educated guess is, and then we'll see what he says. But you're right. I think she's concerned because I think this somehow traces back to her. Veda's name was also associated. Yeah, someone said that maybe the open letter I wrote to the Wilkins because allegedly they cut her off. I don't know the true, just theories being thrown about. I don't know anything about that letter that you wrote to the Wilkins, Misty. So that might be true. That could have been a catalyst, but I've never read it, never seen it, or be aware of it that I know of. So I didn't know that you did that. If you did tell me you did that, I don't recall you saying that. So my bad. She's even blaming Renelle and Charlotte on the web too, which is weird. I don't know what Charlotte on the web has anything to do with anything relating to any of this either. She's over on Rumble or Kick, I think. Rumble, isn't it? Smile says she cannot keep her mouth shut on Robert of 7M. Good point. I'm going to get back to that. She is out there stating it is her on the documentary. I seriously think it has all to do with her not being able to keep her mouth shut. Exactly. So let me run this scenario by you guys. This is, again, hypothetical. Let me make it very clear. Hypothetical. Do you think it might be the case that because Katie has been out there crapping all over 7M during the middle of the lawsuit, ruining her defense, because her defense initially, from what I understand, was going to be something along the lines of, this is not personal. Katie Joy is a journalist. She's just reporting on a story. It is not personal with her and Robert Shin. But over the last couple of days, she has clearly made it personal. It has been personal all along, but she's out there showing people how personal it is with her. By her doing that, she's basically screwed over her defense. The documentary didn't help her. If anything, it harmed her because she was just an archival consultant for screenshots and things of that nature. She had no big, to do. If she was not around, the documentary would have been pretty much exactly the same. There was other archival consultants. She wasn't on the production team, as she claimed. The production team of a show, it consists of very specific people: the director, the producer, the showrunner, and then a handful of other people that are involved. But a grip is not going to be somebody who's considered on the production staff. The production team is the top level of the showrunners. That's how I always understood it. Okay, but she was not at that top level. She was at the very bottom level. And I didn't watch the documentary, nor do I care to, because I don't have an interest in it. But when I understand from what people told me, there's nothing in there that supports her claims. There's nothing in there that supports that Robert Shin waterboarded anybody or did anything that she had claimed, or that her getting involved with the contractual relationships between Miranda and her husband and the LA Clippers and other places have to do with the 7M production company, not the church. And she knows very well that the church and the production company are not the same thing. Now, I jest and say she conflates them and she doesn't understand the difference. And I'm halfway serious, halfway not serious. I think she actually does kind of know there's a difference, but doesn't care. So in her mind's eye, there's no difference, if that makes sense. So in a way, it's kind of true, kind of false. Like some things that are complicated, depending on your perspective, they can be true. Your perspective, they can be false, right? But it all depends contextually to your perspective. And so I think that she is aware that they're not the same thing. They're not the same entity. And it is the production team. It's the production company, not the production team, the production company that's suing her. And so if she's out there attacking Miranda and the rest of them again, she's literally pissing on her own case. And she knows this. And so don't you think her lawyers are probably losing their mind over this? Don't you think her lawyers, any good competent lawyer, would be like, what are you doing? You've just screwed our entire defense. And don't you think a good lawyer would go, look, we need to distance ourselves a little bit from this? And now Kano makes a great point. She says 7M can prove continuous behavior going back to the Toddy case and cases after that until now. Exactly. There's a pattern here, a pattern that we see over and over and over and over and over. The keyword competent lawyer. Yeah, that's true. Well, that's why I'm saying I'm giving them benefit of the doubt, right? I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that they meant to say defendant rather than plaintiff, because if they meant to say plaintiff, that's messed up. That would be pretty messed up to screw your client over that bad, right? Because if you're saying, look, we don't have any evidence that this is related to the plaintiff. This could be unrelated third parties just doing this, but that's not what they said in the letter. They literally said we don't have any evidence that relates us to the defendant, which is their client. So that would be a big goof if that was the case. Big goof. That's why I'm thinking that this might be, as some have mentioned to me, a way to distance themselves from their client. Because if it comes out that Katie is behind a lot of this stuff, which I'm working on that theory right now, that she's somehow related to all this. She's somehow behind us. I'm not convinced that she's the one that's writing these things to herself. I'm not convinced of that. People have chastised me for that. But look, I'm trying to be objective. Is she capable of it? 100%. But that doesn't mean she did. She doesn't tend to get her hands dirty that much, right? She usually has third parties do her dirty work. That's been her modus operandi. I mean, she had Nat do the exact same thing that's going on now, right? In the Toddy case, she found Nat, and Nat was willing to do her dirty work, and she rode that all the way she could to try to defame people. That all those messages and all those correspondence were made public. She admitted to them. She thought that for some reason that was helpful to her, but it really proved that she was willing to use a mentally unwell person in the UK to do her dirty work. So she might have found another mentally unwell person to do her dirty work. Who knows? So there's only two possibilities. She knows who it is or she doesn't. and I don't mean believes, and I mean knows, right? If she knows who it is, then my money is on that she's actually working with that person. If she doesn't know who it is, then who is it that dislikes Misty, dislikes Renelle, dislikes me, dislikes a bunch of other people, and dislikes Katie? That's what I want to know.
I already told you who I think it might be.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't. Kano has her hypothesis. I don't. I do not know who it is. I don't even have a hypothesis of who it is. I have a couple different names or possibilities, but those are just bare possibilities. I can think of 4 people right now that if I had to, place some money on, that it could be, but that's not narrowing it down very much. So I'm not even going to put out my hypothesis. It's irrelevant. But if she doesn't know who it is, who is it that is related to Misty some way? Because again, Misty hasn't been around that much, that wants to throw Misty under the bus. You guys be able to figure that out before I can, because I haven't had much interest in any of this. I don't watch any of Katie Joy's stuff, and so I'm kind of out of the loop on that. This is why Katie Joy has not come after me in the last couple months, because I do one video like this a month, basically. I'm not a target of hers. I am always a target in the background, don't get me wrong, but I'm not a front target right now, right? Her targets right now seem to be Without a Crystal Balls, the Balls account, who nobody even knows why or who she is really. She's kept it very low key on her identity and things of that nature. There's been Renelle, she's tried to throw under the bus. There's also been I'm Rankin, right? I am Rankin. She tried to throw her under the bus. Oh, and she also tried to relate me to I am Rankin last year.
Oh, God.
Why? I have literally nothing to do with I am Rankin. Haven't talked to her in 2.5 years probably, and yet Katie Joy is going, oh, hey, Steve and Rankin are making all these plans and doing all this stuff. Never happened. Hi, JJ. Oh, come on in, JJ. You're welcome to come in. Come on in. I remember that, Steve. That was so funny. It's weird, though. She is going after Nikki. She's going after Nikki hard, and
I think JJ's cute.
Oh, hey, JJ, you got a little, Kano's got a little, Kano's got a little crushy on you. She's married.
Yeah, and
Kano's like, and homewrecker. JJ is very attractive. Yes, everybody knows this. Oh, JJ was doing a stream with what's her name? Queen. Oh, good Lord. Help me out here. Come on, JJ. Who you doing? Who JJ just streams with who? Queen. What's her name? I'm drawing a blank here. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. But anyways, JJ was putting on these costumes. And they were so
cosplay?
No, not cosplay. They were doing like a happy birthday costume. It was adorable. Yeah, it was adorable. But anyways, maybe you guys could again get your minds going of who is it that really knows all these people and wants to involve Misty. Selfie Queen. Yeah, Selfie Queen Cindy. I'm so sorry. I was just drawing a blank. I love Selfie Queen Cindy. She's so sweet, so nice. She taught, and I have mad respect for her because she does a lot with addiction type stuff, and mad respect for her for that. But again, this is going to be, like I said, a really short stream. I just wanted to get that out there that you guys need to figure this out, because I won't be able to do it probably because, again, I don't have my ear to the ground that much, but I am trying. I have told people I am trying, but I really pondered it last night. I talked to a lot of people. I'm still talking to people even as we speak, in DMs. I don't think I can solve this because I couldn't solve it during the Toddy case. I think that, yes, a lot of it did go back to Nat, but do I think Nat worked alone? No, not even remotely so. But somebody is doing this to Katie, whether it is Katie herself or somebody else. These are real things that are happening in real life, So that's really my take on it. Miss said she didn't get any emails, so she can't. Well, if they could be, the problem is that most of these, when I got emails in the past, they were all going to just a Google server. They were all either VPN, they were all out of country, they're all going through anonymous. There's nothing there. In order to get who did this, they need a court order. They need a court order. They would have to go to the Google servers and say, okay, when was this account made? What IP address was it made from? They could do that. That's all recorded information. But they're only going to probably do that if there's an actual major crime being committed. But I'm hoping that doesn't happen, that they need something like that. I mean, I do not want any major crime to happen. Okay, I really don't. But I do want them to trace this. And now that a lawyer is involved, right? And now that a lawyer has said, look, my name, Graham, has been used to do these things, I want an investigation. But the problem with that is that's the same thing that happened with Michael Saltz, right? Michael Saltz, they had an investigation and they only be able to catch Nat. But I know Nat was not working alone. There's no possible way. I know she was working with Katie Joy. I know she was. We all know she was. That's a fact and evidence. But, Saltz didn't go after Katie. Why not? I do kind of know why he didn't. His loyalties, obviously was to his client. But there's no love lost between him and Katie.
Fuck with my family.
So,
fuck with me. Sorry.
Let's see here. She said, Misty, I'm sorry how Katie Joy is treating you. Yeah, again, but is she? Has Katie Joy really mentioned much about Misty recently? Why is it now that she is talking about Misty? And even then, she only referred to her in passing. She said something like to Nikki. Again, I'm getting these things all third hand because I don't follow her on Instagram. But there was something that said, Nikki takes down these videos. And there was another thing that said, you know who her is. You're friends with her, which I assumed I thought at first was dealing with who was sending these emails. But she was, I think, was specifically referring just to Misty, and then thinking, okay, Misty is sending these emails. But Katie Joy knows Misty's not sending these emails. I'm convinced of that. Whether she knows who's sending these or not, she knows damn well Misty's not sending these. Just like she knows Nikki wasn't sending anything. Just like she knows I wasn't sending anything. She knows all these things, right? So she's just using this to smear people, which implies to me she's desperate. She needs to distract from what's going on. She needs to find scapegoats like she always has done in the past. Luckily, before, for her, she had Nat as a scapegoat. So who's going to be her scapegoat? Because here's the thing. If these things are traced and they find out who sent these, if Katie knows who they are, she's going to throw them right under the bus faster than anything else to save her own skin. 100%.
And no VPN is going to help you.
No, yeah, it doesn't matter whether VPN or not. Everything's traceable. But people don't understand. It doesn't matter whether VPN or not. VPN will make it anonymous to the receiver, but all these things are logged. It still has what's called a ingest. The ingest has the IP address, then it encrypts it, and then it or it sends it as a separate IP and anonymous remailer. But anytime you log into a site, anytime you go to a page, anytime you do anything, it is all logged. All this stuff is out there. I guarantee it. Any computer person will tell you all this is out there. There's no such thing as anonymity on the internet. If they want to find you, they will find you. Yep. And so I hope to God that we get a court order from the court to Gmail finding out who sent these. But if that's the case, then there's one of two things. Katie is so narcissistic that she doesn't think she's going to get caught, just like in the Nat case, that if she has her hands in this, or whoever sent these is so narcissistic that they're not going to think they're going to get caught. Because whoever sent this has done major crimes, sending threats, sending CPS to her house. These are crimes. These are crimes. These are not just internet beefs. These are going in real life. Somebody has gone in real life again, and it's always during the court cases with Katie. Why? Is this the same person from Toddy's Westbrook's case, which is years ago? Or is this somebody new that's copycatting? I do not know. But it seems like it's absolutely related somehow. It's in the same circles. Absolutely. Yeah, Canino says, I hope they call for an investigation. Absolutely. But the problem is I don't think they're going to. I really don't. I really don't think they're going to. But I hope I'm wrong on that. If I'm wrong on that, I'm gonna come back on air and go, thank God I was wrong on that. Because the only reason why I don't think they're gonna call for an investigation is because there wasn't much done in the Nat case, at least not to my resolution. Now, did they talk to a lot of people? Did they investigate? Yes, they did.
Actually
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they're actual threats. Well, this is why. I mean, I know that in the Toddy case, the FBI did go and they did talk to Little Miss Noble and they did talk to her friend Darren. That I do know for a fact. So he did get some investigation going because a lawyer was involved, but I don't think it went far enough personally. However, I don't know if that's going to happen in this case. I think that at the very minimum, because lawyers are involved, they should get an investigation. They should get a court order to Gmail to determine where these accounts came from, who started them. Oh, Dustin. I'm sorry, not Darren. I'm sorry, Dustin. Yeah. See, and it's so funny. People are linking me to the guy. I've never talked to Dustin in my life. I don't know who the hell he is. I still don't know who the hell he is. Never had word one with the guy. Never had a message. Never had a correspondence. Know nothing about him. Nothing. And yet, back then, Katie Joe was like, Steve's working with Dustin and Little Miss Noble. No, never was. I didn't know anything about Little Miss Noble until after the case, pretty much. And then we were talking. So she does this. She fabricates these connective web type stuff to things that have no relevance to each other. Because I never talked to Dustin ever. Still never talked to the guy. I don't even know anything about him. Misty says, I make a disclaimer on my Twitter every couple months that I wish to harm anyone. Well, none of us do, right? I mean, the only harm I want to see is justice. I want Katie to have harm in the way of karma, that justice catches up to her, because she's done some extraordinarily deceitful and dishonest and duplicitous things. Here's the thing. You all have to remember, she was the one that went in real life first. She went in real life when she filed 3 TROs against me and 2 other people, Tina and Little Miss Noble, and she dropped all 3 of them in order to silence us. And she lied repeatedly in her affidavits. Everything in her affidavit was an outright lie. We already been through them. This is old news. She was busted. She was caught red-handed lying in affidavits. I mean, in one court document that she sent to my lawyer, that my lawyer sent to me, she said that I lived in her own state, in Green River or something like that. I've never been to her state that I remember. If I've ever been to her state, it was probably as a kid, but as far as I know, we never traveled through it. And so definitely as an adult, I've never been to her state. And then she put things like I abused her child, a child that I never met. Matter of fact, it's funny on Twitter because I don't remember who it was. I apologize. But somebody had said on Twitter, I don't think even Katie Joy's that duplicitous to use her son like this as a weapon. Because one of the emails that I saw had to do with Misty, Misty's name attached to it, that had to do something with Katie Joy's child. Not to get into the details because they're disgusting. But somebody had said that, and Katie Joy's capable of that. And I go, but you got to remember, Katie Joy was using her own son to say that I abused him to try to get points to her following, right? A child that I never met in my life, that I wouldn't recognize that was standing next to me. But she used the word abused because she knows that word is going to have connotations to people, right? So she is willing. Elk River. Is that what it was? Why do I keep saying Green River? Fuck, I'm an idiot. See, again, I'm not great at details like this. This is how little I paid attention nowadays because I haven't reviewed this in a long time. It was Elk River, not Green River. Thank you, Sylvan. But you guys remember, you guys keep my memory going. I appreciate that. So I wasn't too far off. But yes, Elk River. But like I said, I haven't looked into this shit for what, a year or two? 2 years? 2 years I haven't looked into this stuff. So that's why I don't remember the fine details. I would have.
It's fine until you got those emails.
One second.
Well, you know what I mean.
Let's see here. He says it's so far out of the way that anyone be coming to Minnesota from anywhere else. There's zero chance you were there. Oh yeah, but here's the thing, Savanel. Why? Why does she want to tell the court that I lived in a state which is easily disprovable? That would have been, obviously the court would have recognized that and said, well, wait a minute. Why are you saying he lives in Elk River, Minnesota here when he lives in California? What would be the point of that? I still don't understand why she lied like that. The only reason I can think of is that she lied on that knowing that I probably wasn't going to be able to go all the way, and she wanted that out there she can show her followings. Look, Steve lived in my state at one time and he's harassing me. Steve lived in my state one time. Therefore, he was able to abuse my son when we were in a room together because she told people we were in a room together when I sexually harassed her, even though I've never met the woman in real life. This is how she thinks. So, no, she didn't like where I lived on the initial TRO from Minnesota. She lied in the response to my defamation lawsuit about her. So Yelly. So she didn't. I don't think she lied in the initial one. No, I didn't. I didn't see anything like that in the initial one. It wasn't until years later where she did a counter suit to me, which is long past time for her to sue anything. But she had said in that response that I lived in Elk River. Why? Yeah, it makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. I couldn't figure it out either. And then she was telling the court that I had to pay for her moving expenses, that she felt unsafe in her house because of me. What? Why? What has it got to do with me? I've never been to her state. But this is the thing. She said that about everybody, right? Katie Joy has said this about everybody she's ever run into, that she's unsafe. So I just want to put that out there that I have no idea what the hell is going on, except for what I've been talking to people and trying to formulate myself. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it, but I'm not going to be able to, I don't think. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it either. I'm going to do what I can. But, if I could have solved this and I could have solved the topic things, I'm not in empowerment to do that. But the court is. So if you guys have suggestions, if you guys have hypotheses, and you guys want to DM me and kind of fill me in, I would be greatly appreciative of it. But if not, let the courts do their thing. Hopefully they'll get order, a subpoena to Google to get the information. Hopefully that will happen, because now that whoever did this broke the law and involved a lawyer, we might have hope. We might have hope because it involved before Michael Saltz, and because he was a high power lawyer, he was able to get stuff done. This isn't a high power lawyer, but I still think because there's a lawyer involved, there is an open investigation. I absolutely believe that's an open investigation, and that open investigation, in order to get resolution, I think all they need to do is subpoena Google. How am I off on this? Hi, Noel. Welcome, Noel. Yep, I want to talk about something that just hit my mind. That's fine. After the stream, this is going to be a very short stream. I just wanted to, like I said, get something really quick out there. Get your thoughts on it. I don't do a lot of these streams about Katie anymore. I'm back to my philosophy stuff. I'm back to my doing stuff on non sequitur, and so I'm kind of out of the loop. So if you want details on Katie, go watch Aaron. Go watch Nikki. Go watch Down the Rabbit Hole at Bedtime. Go watch Renelle Smith. Go watch Cactus Jack. Go watch the Balls account. Without a Crystal Ball versus Without a Crystal Ball.
Oh, she's still on there?
Yeah, she's still on there. Those are about the big ones, I think, anymore. If there's anybody else, I apologize for missing you. But I think those are the ones that I probably get most of my information from.
Start doing my show.
Smiling says, wait. Smiling says, I always listen to your philosophy. I just do it while I'm doing chores. You know what? I love that. I love that people will just put what I'm talking about on the background and just listen to it as you do chores. I am all for that. Really, seriously. I do that when I'm listening to stuff. I'll do stuff like that. I'll cook something and I'll put my little earpiece in. I got these little what are these called? Vivitars. So I got my wireless Bluetooth earpiece, and I'll just put that in every so often. And I used to love that when people were saying, hey, I was listening to your show, and it was just kind of in the background at work. Kano listens to my show at work, or she used to. I don't know if she still does.
Sometimes I put them on in the background and let them play.
Yeah, sometimes she just puts it on, and the people working there are like, oh, that's cool. What are they talking about? Mm-hmm. So, but I am like enjoying streaming more than I was before, because I took a hiatus for about 8 months. But obviously, as you guys can tell, I'm feeling better. Hopefully you can hear it. Like I said, I keep on saying my voice is better. I feel better. Took a ways to get there. I have 4 prescriptions now, so that's cool. Yeah. It's so funny. I used to kid my dad, because my dad would have a medicine cabinet like, boomers do. and that medicine cabinet would be full of all kinds of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Half the stuff I wouldn't even know what it is, right?
Right.
But I was like, damn, it must suck to get old. And he'd be like, oh, you're gonna get there one day.
Like medicine cabinets now.
She doesn't. Yeah, Kano doesn't like medicine cabinets. I actually I have my medicine in the medicine cabinet. Nothing in there is hers because she doesn't like using a medicine cabinet. I do, but she has all her pills on her dresser, and it looks like a freaking pharmaceutical thing. You can start your own CVS over there.
Makeup.
Yeah, seriously, you can literally start. You can open your own Walgreens here, or she got makeup. She got prescription drugs. She has hair care products. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Water flosser.
So it's just funny. See, we have fun here. But anyways, anything last minute you guys want to like throw out there before I end this? Do you guys have your suspicions? Do you guys recognize that this is a pattern? That if Katie Joy isn't behind all this stuff, then whoever is somebody that wants to go after everybody, including Katie Joy, including Misty, including Nikki. They haven't really included me that much, right? My name has not been out there associated with any of this. But whoever's doing this really does want to attach Nikki and Misty to it. And that's really why I have an interest in it, because Nikki I could kind of understand, because Nikki does commentary against Katie Joy, so I can see why Katie Joy wants to smear her. But Misty doesn't do anything. Misty's only on Twitter. This is what I'm saying. Whoever's doing this is following Misty on Twitter, like literally following her and watching what she's saying, and for some reason is wanting to tie Misty to all this. I don't know who that is, because I have almost everybody on Twitter on that side blocked. Probably 99% of them I haven't blocked. I don't see any of them. You guys interact with them sometimes. I don't. My policy is that any of them that will stand up for Katie Joy are willing to defame other people, I'm going to block them, whether preemptively or after the fact. I don't want anything to do with those people. Yeah, Bliss Chris, right, exactly. I don't understand the zeroing on Misty at all. That to me is a key linchpin. Whoever is doing this, for some reason, has interacted with Misty before. Whoever's doing this is somebody on Twitter that has responded to Misty and knows what's going on in Misty's Twitter account. That is my working theory, because Misty doesn't do anything anywhere else. Misty has not even been around that much on my channel. I forgot she was a freaking mod. That's not a joke. That's not a joke. I told her this. I am not joking. It's been so long since Misty's been around that I didn't even remember. Even though, she might pop in here and there, but she's not like a regular person to come around when I stream, because I stream it so late at night. This is the first day that I've streamed in the afternoon like this in quite some time. But I know obviously Autistic, and I know Meg, and I know Kino, and I know Kimomaki, and I know who else? Who's one other mod? But I mean, those are my main mods that come around the most. There's a couple other ones. But who is this person that wants to smear Misty, that is willing to go to jail over it? Because if this is found out who this is somebody who will have criminal charges on them. Criminal charges. Death threats are criminal. False reports, criminal. Getting a lawyer involved in a criminal case, criminal. This is some serious stuff that they're looking at. But this is what I'm thinking. Whoever's doing this, one, knows Misty for some reason, is related to her Twitter account, because that's the only thing Misty's on. Two, probably lives out of the country. Probably lives in UK or Canada, because they think they're immune from prosecution. Boy, are they wrong. Because Nat was not even immune from prosecution. I think there was reasons why Nat didn't get prosecuted, but that's a guess. It really is a guess. But they did investigate. They did have UK authorities get involved. So whoever's doing this, if they live out of country, that doesn't matter. But I do think that whoever's doing this, one, they have to be narcissistic enough to think they're not going to be able to get caught. That's a given, because they're looking at some serious crimes. Two, they probably think that they're immune because they're living in another country. Three, they wanted to get Misty's name out there attached to all this stuff, even though Misty has nothing to do with anything, even though Misty doesn't do any videos. But for some reason, this is a direct attack against her. And Misty says, I really hope they do investigate, because they spoke of R on my daughter. And so yes, I really want to investigate it. And I honestly, I didn't know the details in that, and nor do I ever want to know the details in that. I didn't know if that was made up, that somebody just made that up about Misty. I wasn't going to ask her about it, but not my business, and I didn't want her to cause her any issues if it was. I didn't want her to relive anything. I did kind of refer to it the other night. We did talk, and I found out that, it was the case. So whoever did this knows this information about Misty. Not everybody. I don't think everybody knows that about Misty. I certainly didn't. So who is it that knows these details about Misty that's willing to do this to her? Oh, wait, it's not true. But it's not true or anything. Someone is absolutely making sure. Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I thought when I talked to you the other night that you said that I didn't ask you to directly. That's what I'm saying. I thought you were inferring that it was the case because I didn't want to ask you directly, Misty, because it's just such a sensitive topic. And I just feel bad even asking you, about your daughter's situation if that was the case. So it isn't true. This will go on record here. It isn't true then. So all that was made up, Misty? I want to make sure I get that right. Yeah, Kiddo says this is no joke and we don't like it, but if they want to go to jail for Katie Joy, go ahead. Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing. Either they're doing it for Katie Joy in order to get a distraction, which I think could be very well be the case because Katie Joy has screwed her defense all to hell. She screwed over her lawyers. And her lawyers seems like they're distancing themselves from her by that comment in the letter saying, we don't know if there's evidence attached to our defendant, the defendant. That's less legal speak is, hey, we haven't gotten anything that proves this yet that we can bring to the court, but there may be. That's legal speak to me. But maybe, Emily Lee Baker would be the perfect person to ask that because she reads legal speak really well. But that's how I read it. This is how other people have read it. I've had people mention to me this before I even thought about it. I was like, holy shit, you're right. Let me go back and reread this. You're right. That is how I read this now because it makes sense that they're saying there's no evidence to attach to the defendant. The defendant is Katie Joy, and evidence in legal terms means something they can bring to the court. Doesn't mean that you notice they didn't say they didn't have reasons, right? They didn't say we don't have reasons to believe it is related to the defendant. They said we don't have evidence. That could be a very strong distinction. Now, in philosophy, reasons are evidence, right? But not in the legal sense. This is why you got to realize words mean different things in different domains of discourse. In the legal terms, evidence means a very specific thing. And if they don't have enough thing to bring to the court, then they'll say we don't have evidence for it, from my understanding. But that's not the same as they don't have reasons. Big difference, right? Because they didn't need to put that last paragraph in there. That seemed like an afterthought. That was like, you know what? We're just going to throw this in there that if this does come back on our client, we want nothing to do with this. Okay? We want nothing to do with this. So, Misty said, it appeared like I was writing the email. I didn't. Well, of course not. I would absolutely never disrespect my children online, not in any way, shape, or form. My daughter knows about crazy people because I told her about it. So I know you have kids, but I'm just glad that never happened to your daughter and that was fabricated. But here's the question. Who did this? Who is willing to do that to Misty? Because again, Misty has not been around. Misty doesn't make videos. Why would Misty be Katie Joy's target? That makes no sense to me. This is why I know a lot of people believe that Katie Joy wrote these things, but I don't think so. I think that she had somebody involved in it, maybe. Yeah, I think that's completely possible. But why Misty? Of all the people, I can understand her wanting to go after me. I can understand her going after Nikki. I can understand her going after Aaron. I can understand her go after Renelle. But why would Katie Joy go after Misty? But all of us that I mentioned, we put out information about Katie Joy because we speak the truth. And we hold Katie Joy accountable for what she did to us. People know what she did to me. That's all background, factual information that doesn't even need to be visited any longer. That's considered to be settled. I consider all that settled, that she lied about me. She lied about saying that I sexually harassed her. She lied about the accusation of fraud, Social Security fraud, which I've never collected in my life, disability fraud, which I've never collected in my life. She lied about those things. She lied about me living in her state. All lies. So I can understand if she wants to attach me to this bullshit. But why Misty? That's going to be that. Whoever it is, that's the key. And I'm sorry to say it, Misty, but you're the key here. Whoever's doing this, they have a beef with you. And it's from Twitter. But since I don't pay attention to the people that you talk to, Misty, or around you guys, because I am all blocked. Because who's ever willing to do this cannot be in my circles. There's no possible way. And if for some reason they are, I would denounce the shit out of them and put them on blast.
And I'm gonna add words.
Yeah, I know Kano would never do it.
Nope.
And that would just not even remotely her thing. And I know how personally this is for Nikki. So Nikki would never do anything like that. She's visceral about this.
I'm 100% behind Nikki on
Yeah.
this.
So I know it wasn't Nikki. Aaron, of course not. Why would Aaron do anything like that? That's a stupid. She would absolutely not. And so none of these people that I know would do any of this stuff. Nobody. I wouldn't associate with somebody that would. So whoever's doing this, I think is in Katie Joy's camp that is doing this to help her get a distraction. And I think Katie Joy's on board with that. That's why I think there was that little blurb at the very end of the letter saying, we don't have evidence that relates to the defendant, but that's not the same as we don't have reasons to think that the defendant is not involved. That's just what I'm going for right now. That could change. Again, this is how you get to the truth. You form a hypothesis, you form a guess, and then as more information comes in, you change accordingly to the information given. This is not settled fact by any stretch of imagination. This is all my opinion. But all you all out there have opinions as well. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And hopefully by me getting this out there today and other people getting out there today, it will allow you guys to determine who you think it is. And then if they do get the Gmail account information, see if you guys got it right. Do I think that's ever going to happen? Probably not. But I do hope to God that it does. This would all be resolved if we can find out who was sending these emails and calling CPS on Katie Joy. They called her on something. I don't remember what they called her for. I saw that she wrote something, but I did see in the letter they said that 2 CPS reports were made, but they were never filed, and they used the lawyer's name for that, but they were never filed, from what I understand. So I don't know whoever went over to Katie Joy's place for whatever for the police report. I don't know what the call was about, but that's all able to be a subpoena. That's all able to get records request. So that's up for grabs. And I'm surprised nobody's ever done that. Hasn't done it yet. I'm sure somebody has. I'm sure somebody has done a FOIA request. I mean, well, let me rephrase. I suspect that how should I say this? I don't know of anybody who did, but I suspect that somebody probably did. When I say I'm sure that somebody did, I just mean that hypothetically, that I suspect somebody has, but I have no inside information that they did. That makes sense? There you go. I have to be very specific in my language because people take me out of context on purpose, right? Yeah. I mean, people take me out of context all the time. So I try to be very, very specific. So, all right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks, Moz, for coming by. Thank you, Misty. Thank you, Shill. Thank you, Meg. Who else I got out there for a mod? I think that's it right now. Thank you, Seven Yali, for being a member of the channel. I think you're one of my only members here. So, yeah, please become a member of the channel. I'm going to start pushing my memberships because I do need some more sustainable income. Things that I spend a lot on things right now. So I'm not like in a world of hurt by any stretch of imagination, but I don't want to be in a world of hurt. So if anybody wants to become a member of the channel, it all helps, and I really do appreciate it. Okay, so with that, again, I do this for myself, but if people enjoy it, that's how they show appreciation by becoming a member of the channel. Super chats, it does help. Misty says, okay, sorry for you confused our conversation, but absolutely people are making up stories. There we go. Firsthand from Misty, somebody's making this up. So that means somebody is willing to lie about Misty. That makes it personal. This is personal. Whoever's doing this, Misty, I'm sorry, but there's somebody that you've interacted with. There's somebody that in your circles that you're not aware of, because I am 100% convinced that Misty has nothing to do with any of this. I will go on record. I am going on record. I've talked to Misty recently about this. I am telling you, Misty has F all to do with any of this. I'm telling you this. I'm putting my reputation on the line for her because she stood up for me, and I'm going to do the same thing for her. Well, you do have circles, whether you recognize it or not. When I mean by circles, I mean your Twitter circles. Like, you know how you can get a pictogram of all the people that you interact with? Somebody you've interacted with in your circle on Twitter. Either that or somebody just follows you on Twitter that you don't know about. But why you, if that's the case? This is personal. Somebody has made this personal with you, Misty. To make that kind of lie up, that takes that takes a type of hate. When Katie Joy falsely accused me, it was out of hate. It was out of hate and out of desperation that she wanted to be made the victim. So somebody lying about you, it is personal, because there are many other people that they could have lied about. There's many other people they could have dragged into this that would have benefited Katie Joy. You're not one of those people that would have benefited Katie Joy that much. Nikki, yeah, I get that, because she makes content, and a lot of content about Katie Joy. I don't. So that's why I'm not on Katie Joy's radar, really, because I don't make any of that content that much any longer. I do it once a month, maybe twice at most. But it's so funny because everybody's like, oh, Steve, you're obsessed by Katie. Don't make any more content about her. And then I stop making content about her. And then I get people, hey, Steve, why'd you stop talking about Katie Joy? It's like I can't win. I can't win, right? No? Yes, it is astounding people have that much hate in their life. Absolutely, Misty. Welcome to our world. It is mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing that people have so much hate that they're willing to try to smear people. I've had it all the time. Every time I do a stream, I have hate watchers. Every single time. But you know what I do, Misty? I ignore them. But this time, whoever's doing this cannot be ignored. They broke laws. They have involved lawyers, just like they did with Michael Saltz in the Toddy case. And because of that, I think lines have been majorly crossed. That at this point in time, since there is an investigation, we might get some resolution here. I know, I don't, you know what? Fuck it. I am a Katie Joy expert. Fuck it. You're right, Susie. I was going to say, you know what? I'm not really an expert. There's much more people that know about the details of the cases than I do. But when it comes to Katie Joy herself, I am a fucking expert. I know her patterns. I know her mindset. I know what she's going to do. I know how she thinks, because I've dealt with her for so long. So you know what? I am going to claim expertise on that. I'm not going to claim expertise on any other subject. But when it comes to Katie Joy, sure, I'll take that one. Why not? Emails are already in Stavix. Here's the thing: is Stavix? Is she okay? I heard she had cancer. I have not got a response from Amber since 2022. I don't think, because she did ask me to be a witness in the case, but that was 2 years ago, so that's long since passed. But I hope she's doing really well. I hope she's in recovery, but I have not heard back from her since then. She does cancer and is going treatments. Yes, that I'm aware of. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Please let me know what you think in the comments section. I read all of them. So everybody that's listening right now, except the haters, the hate watchers, if there's any out there watching, they're just going to get blocked and removed. It's a waste of their time. I do delete comments. I'm not gatekeeping, but I don't like insincere comments. I want people's actual opinions, and trolls don't have actual opinions. They just want to smear people. So Misty, Smiling, Best Dog, Shill, Savignali, Bliss, Susie, Nicole, Noel, all you guys, leave a comment on the video and let me know who you know what? You don't have to give me any names of who you think it is. Just let me know if you do think it's somebody. Unless you think it's Katie, then you can mention Katie's name. But don't mention anybody specific. But just tell me if you think that you might have a clue, and then I will reach out to you and we can discuss it privately. I don't want names thrown around if at all possible. All right. So with that, guys, I'm gonna leave you guys. I'll probably stream my philosophy stuff tonight, maybe, because I have a free day today. So those are interested in that, see you tonight. Peace.